has barefoot always been something that you've done, or how did you come into that?
Uh, no, it's totally new for me. I'm 62 years old, going to 63, and you could say I started last summer. Um,
Wow.
so I've never been done into running. I've always, well, I wear Birkenstock, not to name a brand, but
Yeah.
sandals like for 20, 30 years. So that's my lifestyle, you could say. Uh, Generally health conscious. Um, and then 2 years ago, because of the lockdowns, I really started to be frustrated, just going out of my mind. The gyms were closed down, and same thing. I didn't, I used to be a smoker, not a drinker, but not just health conscious, but not physical health conscious. That's another level.
It is.
Uh, I did water fasting,
Okay.
so but not physical stuff. So a few years ago, I started into fitness, going to the gym to do some weightlifting, resistance training, and I got into. I love to do research. I'm a research freak. Um, so I went into the slow movement training. So very slow, low repetition. And I got into the gym. So I was doing that. Never was a fan of running. I've looked at people running with shoes or with no shoes. I never saw people running without shoes anyway. And I just didn't understand why are they doing this. And so I was in the gym, and then the lockdown happened, and I got really, really fed up of being cooped up inside.
Yes.
So 2 years ago, I said, that's it. I just started running, and within months or even weeks, I enjoyed myself. Like,
Now, when you started,
yeah,
did you start in kind of traditional running shoes, or what were you wearing?
uh, I wasn't conscious of anything, just regular running shoes, and I just went.
Okay.
That's it. And I think also each time my anger, like, get
Yes.
down, this and that, and this. Anyway, but even without that, so within weeks, months, my knees
Yes.
started to hurt. Um, so eventually I went to see a physio guy, and he showed me how to run, how to be careful. And one of the many things he told me was I told him I wore Birkenstocks, and that I even had like little, not platforms, but I could put in my regular shoes to support me.
Orthotics.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, and one of the first thing he told me about that, he says, well, Guy, that's kind of a myth. By the way, my name is Guy. So,
Okay.
okay. So Guy Giard, that's who I am in Montreal, Canada. So I'm French Canadian.
Wonderful.
There you go. So um, he told me about this thing about wearing arches and pedics, like you say, and because I thought I had flat foot, and he told me a story. Maybe some of you guys will do research, but it says this thing about arches and supporting arch was about during the army in the 40s and 50s, that they had to do a standard boot for everyone, and the whole thing started, and that it was basically a myth. Like some people do need support, like why not? Where each of us is different. But you look at my feet, at my foot, my feet, and say, well, I don't see anything special there. Um, so from one, so I just, after 30 years of using Birkenstock and being comfortable, I said, okay, so I tried. And that was the first step to say, oh, actually, I don't need it. It's comfortable. Uh, I still didn't use any specialty running shoes, but so to run, what I do is I do a 180 cadence. So I
Mhm.
won't get into the science of it, but 180 cadence so that my weight falls totally under me when I run. That's basically the science of how I heal my knees. So uh, then what I did for rehab was like what walk and run. So 1 minute walking, 2 minutes, no, 1 minute running, 2 minutes walking, so forth and so forth. So and all of that worked very well. I use a metronome, tick 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 tick, and then at one point I said, okay, I'm just gonna trust my instincts. Ah, no, because I start instead of running to a perfect cadence, my feet started to get a bit in front of me, and my knees started to hurt again. So uh, I had to stop and then go to another physio. Eventually, I got the idea, keep to the 180. Okay, so I kept to the 180 and then doing more and more research. Okay, no pain in the foot, no pain in the knees. And then started to run bare chest in the snow. So like Wim Hof. So some people call me kind of crazy. I don't know. I just like to not so much push my limits, but question my limits. It's
I
like
think that's key. That's huge. Question. I think we
just
don't
question.
developed societies. I think we don't question much. We just do whatever we do because, and then we start to, I think people should think about what they do and why they do it. So I think that's great.
Yeah, and it's the same thing when I was doing fasting. I mean, I went 5 days, 10 days, and then 20 days, only water. And you speak to some people about just water fasting, and they say, "Oh my God, how can you do like 2 days or 5 days, and you're gonna hurt yourself, and it's dangerous, and it's unhealthy, and blah blah." So it's the same thing with running barefoot. Um, there's so many preconceived ideas. So I don't say go do fasting. Prepare yourself. There's a progression, there's a technology behind it, a science to it, I could say. So uh, as winter was coming, I say, is it dangerous to run bare chest outside? So I did research, and then I saw people who doing like in the ice and the snow. I said, oh my God, I'm worrying about nothing.
Right.
So one of my key point is always to do things gradually. You hurt yourself when you want to go too fast. So to do gradually. So in Montreal, we get summers of 30 degrees Celsius, which is, I guess, 90 Fahrenheit, to minus 30 Celsius, which is, I guess, something around 15 Fahrenheit. And so luckily, fall is a gradual thing. So I
Right.
didn't have to calculate anything. It's just each morning it's getting colder and colder. And I prepare myself. I've got my safety kit, I have my safety wool, my safety wind jacket, my safety I even have an alarm just in case. Be prepared. But I get bare chest and tie everything down around my waist, and it's wonderful. And I found that I I've, I could run, so my runs get shorter, but basically an hour at around, I don't know, 20 degrees, it's fine. Fahrenheit, it's fine. If it's sunny, if there's wind, uh, all these things. But that's the fun part, like running barefoot. When you're
Right.
barefoot, you get different names for different textures and
Yes,
different
you do.
feelings. And running in the cold, bare chest, I found it's the same thing with my barefoot, but my rule of thumb, which is kind of funny because it's literally this, is like I look at my fingers when I run, and sometimes I do feel my thumb stuck in a vice, like
Okay.
the I say, okay, I never use the word cold. Same thing as barefoot. I don't say, oh, it's painful. I say, oh, these sensations, just sensations. So mental part is very much. So um, as long as my fingers are pink, even if it's cold,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. So I look at the colors of my extremities. So again, and it's comfort zone. That's another
Yes.
aspect, pushing your limits. So if I run for an hour and my thumb feel like they were stuck in a vice, like, oh, that was strong sensation, not pain, not cold, just
Right.
strong sensation. But then when I get home, and then after an hour, everything's fine, like no pain, no. Then I say, okay, I can endure that feeling because it's not dangerous to my body, you know. So it's like, okay, discomfort. So we live in a society where it's like, you know, comfort zone. There's
Yes.
that expression, but there's so again. So anyway, so I got through the winter, and then as summer came, I said, okay, I fast, I do shirtless. The science says that running barefoot is good for you. Okay. Already I'm wearing kind of minimal shoes as much as possible. So I said, okay, I'm going to try it. And then luckily next to my home is a footpath. We have a canal, like an old canal for boats. And so there's a bicycle path. So basically, the for us barefoot runners, we can talk about the quality of the asphalt
Yes.
and the, you know, so we're kind of getting not crazy, but anyway, about these different colors and textures and
Yes.
gravel and stuff. So anyway, and basically I just started, um, you know, one same thing, 1 minute barefoot. So you might think in terms of kilometers. I think in terms of intervals. That's
Okay.
for me. Other people might think in terms of distance.
Right.
My cadence is very stable. So distance doesn't matter. It's more so. And again, I just did this thing gradually. So 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and uh, last week I did 27K barefoot.
It's
So
in a race or just on your
just
own?
by myself, just by myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Um, and it's just I didn't plan for it. I love it. I just love barefoot.
Yes.
No pain. I mean, of course, the soles days varies and stuff like that. But about the biomechanics of my knees and the rest of my body, no pain whatsoever. I always think about Forrest Gump, and I say, no, this movie is not true.
Yeah.
No, the guy just started running and
Yep.
blah blah. I said, no, no. When I did that, within 3 weeks, a month, I hurt myself. So Forrest Gump, that's not
Right.
a true story. Sorry. Uh, anyway, um, so maybe some of the tricks I do. Um, I run. This is beach shoes.
What are they?
Beach
Beach
to
shoes. Okay. Like water
they're
shoes?
sold to sand to walk on the beach. So they're
So
very
do you,
flexible.
but you do run completely barefoot or you always run in those?
No, no, I run barefoot.
Okay.
I run barefoot. It's just I'm these are my little tricks to learn to progress. Like they say, some of the research said that don't go from regular running shoes to barefoot right away. So these basically, it's like minimalist shoes are like extremely expensive
Yes, they are.
and they don't last long. That's what I've read. But these beach shoes, like they're like 20 American dollars,
Yes.
and you know,
I call that the twist test. I love that. To me,
yeah,
that's a good shoe.
exactly. So my advice to anyone who would try to go barefoot is to first to switch with these and to do it again, always gradual. Gradual. When I first started my 1 minute, 2 minute, I would do that, and then I would go continue my run in these. And basically, it's my feelings. And yet today, when I run in these, I feel frustrated. Why would I run in these today? Okay, I'm still barefoot in these, but for asphalt, I'm fine. But for, I don't know how you say that in English, but a dirt road with little grass.
Trails.
Yeah, trails, even if it's flat. I don't know when people are able to do that, but I respect my body, I respect myself. So when I go to do my 20K or my 27K, there's just a little piece that's a trail until I get to the asphalt. And then, so I wear these. I did try. I mean, I do again, like I say, try, but I felt the returns that then I hurt my soles and I couldn't run for a week or two. And I say, well, that's not worth it. It's same thing with I started to these ones,
Yep.
like they call huacha or
Araches.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
this is my first summer wearing them.
Okay.
So
What do you think?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Basically, I'm barefoot all the time because when I'm not running, I walk in these. I tried running with these and I don't know, it didn't work yet for me. I love that magical 3-letter word, yet.
Yet. Uh-huh.
So, but I spend my summer every day with these. So it's basically you're carrying the ground,
Absolutely.
the ground with you. So I love these. And in the winter, now I'm not running barefoot in the snow yet.
I'm not
I,
either.
I could. It's like some people say, why do you run on asphalt and not on the grass? Grass is softer. My not I don't like the word problem, but my concern is that with the grass, I don't see where I put my foot.
Absolutely. There are a couple of issues with grass. One, grass is softer, and research has shown you we actually land harder on softer surfaces, which is more detrimental to our legs. And then, like
Okay.
you said, you can't see what's in there. There could be a
Yeah,
nail, or you have no idea what's in that grass. You can't see it. So I
yeah,
completely agree.
yeah. So I run on asphalt in the when it's wet. This it softens my soles, and
Yes.
my experience is that I will get blisters
Yes.
when it's wet. So when it's dry and cold, so far it's fine. As winter approach, so running in the snow, why not? I'm curious to try it, but if my feet smell the snow, then it's like gonna be the wet
Yes.
situation again. So
Absolutely.
and snow can hide the little piece of gravel on the road. So
And
careful.
Ken, you
So
also have to watch out for numbness. I have a friend who went out and ran, and his feet were numb. He didn't realize it, and he
okay.
finished his run, and he had worn a clean thickness ulcer through his foot. And he couldn't
Ooh,
feel it because his
okay.
feet were numb. So
Okay.
just, another thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's when I say my rule of thumb,
Yes.
same thing.
Apply
Even
that
if
to your
it's
feet as
like
well.
exactly. So as long as I feel something, which I'm not calling pain or cold, it's a sensation. As long as I feel something, I feel safe. That's
Yes.
my
Wonderful.
my rule of thumb. So in the winter, then I do use these for light snow, and then I have socks. I have waterproof socks. So I did research. So these are, uh, of course, I cannot show you the texture here, but they're not plastic. So they're
Okay.
like There's like woven material, plastic in between, and woven material. So you never touch plastic. So in the winter, when it's very cold, our body are generators of heat. So
Right.
um, my feet are just warm, even if I run in the snow with waterproof socks and then I can just go for miles and miles with no concern.
Guy, I would love if you could send me a link for those socks. I have not come across anything like that.
Okay, that's it. There's many brands waterproof socks, but my pleasure to do it. It might actually even be on my blog post, but
Yes, I need to look at that.
nevertheless,
My schedule's been insane. I saved everything that you sent me, so I'm gonna check it all out.
no worries, no worries. So, and then last thing I want to show you. So this is like, okay, it's first snow, it's flat, or if it's raining, like winter, you can run in the rain if it's warm enough. Like, don't get hypothermia from running in the rain. But then I use my waterproof socks and these to run in the rain. So my feet are comfy, protected, but I can still enjoy the running bare chested and getting wet, which is fun.
Right.
When there's really snow and ice, I switch to this model. I should do a commercial. Anyway, same thing.
Are those Vivo Barefoots?
There are no names. Again, like $20.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
Those look fantastic. Are those
I know
water shoes again?
these are like I think I don't know if they call them snowshoes, but very white toe bucks, which is always my
Yes,
priority.
absolutely.
Very white toe bucks. And I actually have a extra wide um, front foot.
Yes.
So compared to other people, so for me this is fine. And you've got the protective plastic
Yes.
goes over. You can buy other models where they don't go over. So your toenail. I had to file my toenail once in a while
Yeah.
because it went to the fabric, but
Oh, okay.
now I'm aware of it, so I'm careful of that. But again, same thing, same twist test.
Yep.
They're flat, and if they come with a sometime a insole,
You
most
just
of
take
the
it out.
time I just stick it out, and then sometimes I use these. Sorry, they don't look nice anymore. Stuff. So that's my for to keep running barefoot with water and barefoot with snow. I mean, you don't have to go bare chest like me in the cold, but if you do, it's such a wonderful experience. So always gradual. Whatever you experiment, gradual. Be careful of the names you use. It's not pain, it's sensations. It's not cold, it's feeling, it's prickly. Same thing on underfoot. Um, some new asphalt is like creamy. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
wonderful. And I was surprised that actually a nice concrete sidewalk
It's great.
is great.
It's
It's
great.
like
That's one of my
I
favorite things to run on.
exactly. So that was my biggest surprise. When I did 27K, I did a new route, and I went over a bridge, and the sidewalk of the bridge is made of metal, but actually on top of the metal they put a layer of something that it looks like what you put on roofing,
Okay.
the black
Like
isolation.
shingles?
Yeah, but they put under
The
the
underlayment,
chingle or
yeah.
the shingles, and with that kind of black, and that's whipped cream. Really, like I was when I was doing that first time, my 27K, I went to a Formula One racing thingy, and I raced there, and I wasn't sure, oh, what kind of texture I'm gonna find for my foot and feet, and but when I crossed the bridge to get over there, that was like, bliss, to run on this.
Yes.
So again, this may sound crazy, but barefoot is so. And one thing I do when I, of course, posture, breathing. But that has nothing to do with barefoot in a sense. Like basically your center of gravity does perfectly. But I know when, let I say, when my feet are in, it's less easy. Generally speaking, I lost my posture and I lost my breathing.
Yes.
Uh, and my concentration. It's not mind over matter, but it's mind working together. So good breathing. I breathe my mouth closed. I try to again, these are all side things about barefoot, but I guess if you go too fast, you lose your good posture. You'll hurt your foot much more, because if your foot sole falls totally under you, there's no friction.
You're
If you're
talking about if you transition too quickly or if you actually run too fast.
both,
'Cause I
exactly.
actually run about a 7-minute mile.
Yeah. Well,
And
I don't do mile,
right.
but I saw your video and you're really healthy. Oh,
No,
that's wonderful.
so my pace dropped considerably when I started going barefoot. So I actually do run pretty fast at this point. So
Okay.
I would say don't give up if that's something that you're interested in. Don't give up on the fast pace.
I,
Because that 180 beats per minute, I can maintain that at a 10-minute mile. I can maintain that at a 6-minute mile.
yeah, yeah, exactly. No, it's like I'm like I say, being progressive.
Yes.
I'm building up my toolbox.
I
So
love that.
180 is okay. Once I've got that, then I can experiment with other aspects. The 180 for me is the best tool to keep my center of gravity perfect. So, but I do wish to get faster, not because it's an ego thing, but because again, mental boundaries. Like,
Yes.
why couldn't I go faster? I have nothing against it. I have nothing for it. It's just like uh, you don't know what you can achieve until you actually challenge.
I love
But
it.
challenge yourself kindly.
Yes.
Challenge yourself with love, with patience, lots of patience, and have faith. Have faith in you. Have faith in me. Have faith. I mean, not blind faith, but say, okay, um, there you go. So, oh, sorry about this noisy thingy there.
No worries. I love your approach is so systematic
Hmm.
and so open. And I love that. You are I don't know, I think your approach is really fantastic. And one of the reasons I want to tell these different stories is you know, as a PT, I've seen, lots of different people from all different genres and all different things able to accomplish these things. And then when someone comes in the door and say, well, I can't do it because, well, I've already
Hmm.
seen 15 people in your circumstances do this, but they've already made up their mind. So if I can put some different stories together
Yeah.
in one place like yours, and they're all different. So to kind of break down everybody's, I don't want to say excuses, but reasons that they can't accomplish something, or say,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
here's somebody who's in a similar situation to you,
Yeah.
and here's what they were able to do. Because I don't believe in boundaries. I really don't. I believe in, like you said, uh, kind of continually pushing and pushing, and while loving yourself through it and respecting your body, and and doing it in a healthy a way that makes sense, not just, but I also love that you started this as a response to frustration and just because that's what a lot of people turn to running for that reason. And so many people, 1 in 10 people are hurt, every year. Actually, I think it's higher stats than that. But if more people understood the way it can be, and then it's just the love,
Mhm.
without all the pain and all the horrible things, I want everybody to be in that space. It's just too good to miss.
Exactly. And we didn't speak about the benefits of it. I mean, there's the physical, the whole body posture, maybe sleeping, maybe digestion, whatnot.
Yes,
Uh,
so
but
many.
there's the feel good. I mean, why do I run? Why do I run barefoot? Um, because I just feel so good afterwards. I was saying to my daughter this morning that when I get up, I don't necessarily feel that I want to go running. Um, I kind of but I'm a sunrise runner. That
Me
it's
too.
part of okay, so it's part of my ritual. So I get up in the winter, it's dark, so I'm kind of waiting for first sunlight. Uh, but basically, I look outside and say, I'm not sure. Um, and then in the next 15 minutes, I walk around. Eventually, I put on my running shorts. And it's like a ritual. Once my running shorts are on and bare chest in the house, like no more jammies, even if it's cold, it's like,
Right.
okay, and then I don't think about it. It's like an automatism. And then the first 5 minutes, I don't do warm up. Oh my God,
I
but
don't
I run
either.
first. Okay, good. So, um, but once I've done my first 5 minutes and once I'm barefoot, it's just like, wow. And then the first 10, 15 minutes, that's when my heart wakes up, my body wakes up. But after that, uh, I look, uh, I'm I think about this, maybe I wouldn't do this if I didn't live by the canal, so it's quiet, it's nature, it's the trees, I meet a few people, like there's very few people, but we smile, we say hi. I go to the old port in old Montreal, very touristy, but there's nobody. Uh, so it's all of these things. My wife hates to run, even hates thinking about it. But for me, it's like the running is like in fourth place. The first place is nature. The
Yes.
second place is the sun. The third place is the air. And I think the first place is barefoot. Um, well, that's it in a nutshell. So
I love it. Yes, I absolutely love it. And I cannot thank you enough for sharing this with me. And now I get to share it with hopefully a lot of other people. So I appreciate it so much.
and I started at 60, you could
Yes,
say. Never
that's
ran,
huge.
never ran before. When I reached 50, um, I it's kind of funny, but I gave myself the gift of fasting. I never fasted before, but it was a magical number. I said, okay, kind of reboot my body. I did a lot of research. So at 60, I didn't plan the lockdown and stuff like that, but it made me run. And I love it. And now it's barefoot, bare chest. Yeah, it's just life ends at 60. Why
I
not?
love it. I
Can't
love it.
wait for 70, what
I
more can
know that's the best attitude. That's the best
yeah.
attitude. I love it.
There
Well, all right. I'm so glad we got to connect and I will definitely be in touch. I would love any links that you want to send me and I will
yeah.
definitely look through your things too. Uh,
I got my life story.
oh,
So for
fantastic.
anybody who's interested, the book is coming is out in English very soon.
Okay,
It's
good, because I
called
don't read French.
that's okay. So Spanish, French. It's called The Courage to Love.
Fantastic.
It's about it's my life story about taking care of myself from birth till today, going through many challenges. So The Courage to Love. Just look for me, Guy Giard, www.GUYGIARD. I am a humanitarian clown with, oh, all my noses are gone. Humanitarian clown with Patch Adams. So
And I'm going to make sure that I get links to all of your
yeah.
things too when I post this, so they'll be there for
Sorry if I'm
folks.
throwing all of this to you, but just to tell you, life is amazing. You are amazing. I've seen the work you do
Thank
on your
you.
website, your videos, with your daughter. Bring the family into it. I totally agree with it. And I'm sending you love,
All right,
care,
back to you.
and success on your mission.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take
All right. Thank you so much. This has been a
care.
pleasure.